Nigeria Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has said that the detained Edo State members of People's Democratic Party (PDP) were arrested in connection with the killing of a police officer attached to the All Progressives Congress (APC) governorship candidate, Monday Okpebholo, at the Benin Airport. A day Philip Shaibu arrived the state after he was reinstated as Edo State Deputy Governor by Federal High Court in Abuja following his impeachment by the State House of Assembly earlier this year. The IGP, who spoke when Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) held an interactive meeting with stakeholders on Wednesday at the Victor Owaifo Creative Hub in Benin City, ahead of the Edo State governorship election holding next week Saturday, did not state or give account of what or how the arrested politicians were connected to the killing of the police officer at the Benin Airport in July 2024. According to the IGP, he held that the PDP chairman in the state accused him of partisan politics because of the people that were arrested, adding that, if it is an act of partisanship for police to arrest suspects in connection with the killing of a police officer at the airport, may the opinion of the PDP chairman remain with him forever. During the week, Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki told the Electoral Peace Committee that the People's Democratic Party will not sign the peace accord agreement for the election, saying with emphasis that those who should promote peace are already creating violence. Obaseki said over 10 PDP members in the state have been arrested, and the IGP obtained court order to arrest over 60 members of his own political party, PDP. The PDP, APC and Labour Party are the three major political parties contesting in the next Saturday gubernatorial election in Edo State. Obaseki said the action of the IGP has forced many PDP leaders in the state to run away and some others living with fear. The electoral meeting where the IGP spoke was attended by chairmen of political parties, candidates, traditional and religious leaders, security agencies, civil society organizations and the media. The chairman of the commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, and the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, addressed the stakeholders and responded to their electoral and security concerns. At the meeting, stakeholders were unanimous in their appeal to the Commission to consider an extension of the period for the collection of permanent voters' cards, PVCs, for a few days to enable more voters collect their cards. Consequently, a 3-day extension has been granted from Friday the 13th to Sunday the 15th of September 2024. The cards will be available for collection in our 18 local government offices across the state from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. The Commission appeals to all registered voters who are yet to collect their PVCs to seize the opportunity of the extension to do so. In line with the Commission's policy, no collection by proxy will be allowed, according to Sam Olumekun, National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, INEC. In July, we had reported that the political crisis leading to the death of some police officers in the month of July in Benin City have caused more tension among residents in Edo State after gunmen opened fire at the convoy of the impeached governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, shortly after he arrived Benin Airport to take back his office following the High Court of Justice ruling that his impeachment by the State House of Assembly was illegal and politically motivated. According to Tony Adun aka Tony Kabaka, the founder of Akube Ventures, a commercial vehicle daily revenue or tax collecting company, 1 hour before the gunmen attacked the politicians, he approached the State Commissioner of Police and the Deputy Commissioner of Police, whom he said were around the Benin Airport, to inform them of the movements of suspicious persons, but nothing was done about it. Tony Kabaka accused the Edo State Governor, Godwin Obaseki, of being behind the gunmen attack. Tony Kabaka made this known while protesting along the streets of Benin City with the body of one of the police officers shot dead by the attackers. Tony Kabaka's statement was made available through Facebook Live broadcast by Peniel TV International Benin City, Nigeria, that covered the protest. It was gathered that 3 police officers were shot dead along the airport road in Benin City. Another eyewitness account is presented verbatim below as reported by Punch newspaper. A police officer identified as Okon, attached to the All Progressives Congress candidate in the September 21st governorship election, Monday Okpebholo, was killed after mobs attacked the convoy of his principal and that of Philip Shaibu in Benin on Thursday after leaving the Benin airport. Shaibu, who was impeached by the State House of Assembly on April 8th, but was reinstated on Wednesday after Justice J.K. Omotosho of the Abuja High Court ruled that he was unjustly impeached. Shaibu and Okpebholo arrived at the Benin airport around 2 p.m. to the rousing welcome of supporters. Airport staff told The Punch that the way police officers acted around Shaibu was a sign that something bad would happen. He said, when the plane landed, the way the police officers acted around Shaibu showed that something terrible was going to happen. I saw the policeman that was killed. He was outside the VIP lounge waiting for Shaibu's arrival. I didn't know that he would lose his life. When the convoy left the airport, armed gunmen shot at the motorcade, which led to the death of the policeman. An eyewitness who identified himself as John said that apart from the policeman, others were also injured in the attack. He said, the incident occurred just after 2 p.m. when Okpebholo and several others, including Philip Shaibu, arrived aboard a chartered private jet. Unknown, suspected gunmen in Sienna vehicle at the exit gate opened fire at the convoy Okpebholo and Shaibu, which led to a reprisal gunshot by armed security details attached to the APC candidate and Philip Shaibu. The intervention of the mobile squad of the Nigeria police brought the situation under control. Meanwhile, several officers continued shooting to disperse the said attackers as they fled in a Toyota Sienna bus. The Punch newspaper report ends in quote. Earlier we reported that numbers of persons including a mobile police officer attached to the All Progressives Congress, APC governorship candidate, Monday Okpebholo were killed in Benin City on Thursday when gunmen suspected to be political thugs exchanged fire with security operatives at the Benin airport. The crisis has led to accusing fingers among political parties in the state and government functionaries, with the Edo State government blaming and accusing the impeached deputy governor of the state, Philip Shaibu, who arrived the state on Thursday after Federal High Court sitting in Abuja ruled and declared his impeachment from office as illegal and politically motivated, hence, ordered the Inspector General of Police to provide him security to take back his office. Chief Francis Inegbeniki, in a video recording, said his accusation over the crisis in Benin City is a plot to tarnish his image as he is not even in Benin, and in the video, he showed his current location at Opoji in Edo Central Senatorial area of the state. The chieftain of People's Democratic Party, PDP in Edo Central Senatorial District, Chief Francis Inegbeniki refuted the allegation that he sponsored thugs who allegedly attacked the motorcade of Senator Monday Okpebholo, the APC governorship candidate on Thursday in Benin City. Inegbeniki said his attention was drawn to the accusation he described as false and misleading allegations against him being circulated on social media. It is not true that I led or sponsored thugs who attacked the convoy of Senator Monday Okpebholo, the APC governorship candidate in Benin City. As I speak, I am in my village. I was never on Airport Road when or as at the time the said incident took place. Adding, it is very wrong for anyone or for any reason to accuse me of leading thugs on that attack. I urge the government, security agencies and the general public to disregard the falsehood. The politician said he is a peaceful and law-abiding Nigerian and at his age being an elder statesman will never commit such acts. The election is around the corner, and I quite understand that my enemies would do anything desperately to blackmail me or tarnish my reputation. The statement issued by media aired to Senator Monday Okpebholo, linking me to the incident is an attempt to malign my integrity and also mislead the general public, the PDP chieftain said. We have earlier reported that the Edo State government has said it will take actionable measures against the impeached deputy governor of the state, Philip Shaibu, who was on Wednesday reinstated back to office by Federal High Court sitting in Abuja, after the court ruled and declared his impeachment by the State House of Assembly as illegal and politically motivated. There was crisis in Benin City on Thursday after Philip Shaibu arrived the city from Abuja. Videos posted online showed Philip Shaibu was received at the Benin airport with crowd of supporters and sympathizers from other political parties. Philip Shaibu in one of the videos and photographs was seen standing outside a vehicle with the front of the vehicle having Deputy Governor symbol of authority, which also stand as vehicle plate number of the person occupying the office of the state Deputy Governor. Edo State government under the leadership of Godwin Obaseki in a statement signed and made available by the State Commissioner of Information, Chris Osanehike, said Philip Shaibu is known for violence and blamed the wanton destruction of lives and properties in Benin City on Thursday on the politician. The statement reads in quote thus, "The Edo State government has observed the level of wanton destruction perpetrated by thugs and elements working in connivance with former Deputy Governor of the state, Philip Shaibu, in the guise of purportedly enforcing a judgment reinstating him in office." Shaibu led thugs through Airport Road axis of Benin City, attacking innocent citizens and unleashing mayhem on private citizens who are going about their lawful businesses. The state government through this statement is warning Shaibu to desist from this turn to violence in the pretense that he is enforcing a judgment. He is reminded that he is not above the law and is liable for the wanton destruction perpetrated by him and his co-travelers. Shaibu's violent tendencies is well documented and he has been warned at different times by respected figures of society, including the revered Benin monarch, to shun violence. We want to reiterate that Shaibu will face the consequences of violence that he has resorted to in pursuit of his aim to return to the Edo State Government House, even when he is aware that a stay of execution of the judgment has been filed. We enjoin the general public to be calm and go about their lawful businesses, as government will continue to deploy the instrumentality of the state to restore and maintain law and order in the state in the face of undue provocation.
I think that this is from the chairman of the PDP in the state. You accuse the IG of being a partisan IG for making arrests in connection with the killing of a policeman at the airport. If that makes me partisan, if you hold the opinion that the IG is partisan for going after the killers of a policeman, I think we will remain with that opinion forever.
Media, but Abacha.
You were here in 2020. Very heated elections. As you know, this is an off-cycle election, and there's a lot of attention. But unlike 2020, I'm very worried, very, very worried, because from the developments and where we are today, I think my party met yesterday and we're not likely to sign this agreement. The person who is supposed to enforce peace, the peace accord, is now an active participant in creating a destructive environment. We've had situations where, from the Inspector General's office, there are armed gangs of policemen who have come into Edo State to just invade, arrest, and take away PDP members. As we speak, there are about 10 in detention in Abuja without trial. 2 days ago, they came to pick up a local government chairman. This man, the chairman was going back home. He was attacked and shot at. And the police, he reported, and the police said he should come to give evidence. He came, they arrested him. And as I speak, he's in Abuja. I'm saying, even if offenses were committed in Edo State, why would you not charge the offenses here and try them here? Why take them to Abuja? I mean, are these offenses of high treason? And then in Abuja, why not charge them to court in Abuja? The police, the IG's office came in and obtained warrants to arrest 60 PDP supporters. 60.
60.
Yes, they have the warrants. So all just essentially driving all our leaders into hiding. And for me, my role as the chief security officer is being made nonsense of by the IG. Because the commission arrests, I heard somebody was arrested, the chairman was arrested. I called the commissioner. I said, please, I understand this has happened. Please look into it and let me know. He said, I'll come back to you, sir. And he just refused, he ignored me, didn't say anything. It was the next morning at 4 a.m. he moved that person to Abuja. And I said, speak their own language. So, sir, how can we sign a peace accord? Why should we? Because clearly what they're saying is it's going to be a very violent election. And they're going to use the forces of coercion and intimidation to win the elections in Edo, whether we like it or not. That's the message. I'm glad the IG is in town. We said no until everybody arrested in Edo is released or brought back to Edo to be tried for whatever offenses you claim they've committed. We have no confidence that the police is going to protect us in these elections.
The Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 5 Benin, AIG Arunkwa Mwasi, the CP Edo State Command, and other heads of security agencies in Edo State here present, senior officers here present, party chairmen, candidates and other representatives of parties, political parties here present, our friends from the civil society organization here present, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is with a profound sense of responsibility and dedication to our democratic values that I'm here today to join our esteemed chairman, the chairman of INEC, Professor Yaqub Mahmoud, to address critical issues concerning the gubernatorial election in Edo State, scheduled for Saturday, 21st of September, 2024. To me, the Edo State governorship election that is coming is not merely a procedural event. It is an opportunity for us to reaffirm our commitment to democratic principles, the rule of law, and the integrity of the electoral process. Free and fair elections are bedrock of democracy. While it is the responsibility of all stakeholders to ensure that elections take place in a conducive environment, the task of securing the electoral process rests squarely with the police. The Electoral Act has mandated the Nigerian Police Force to take the lead in policing the election, and we are dedicated to executing this responsibility with excellence. As in the past elections, the police will be supported by other national security agencies who will join us in ensuring the safety and security of the electoral process, demonstrating our collective commitment to a peaceful and credible election. We understand the vital importance of our roles in this election, and I want to assure you that we are well prepared to perform our duties with excellence. We will safeguard the electoral process by ensuring the safety of all persons and properties, including equipment that will be involved in this election. We will ensure strict compliance and enforcement of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Electoral Act, the Police Act 2020, the Criminal Penal Code, Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, and other requisite laws. Crowd and traffic management at all electoral-related activities, political party, convention, congresses, campaigns, rallies, procession, etc. We will provide a conducive environment for the peaceful conduct of credible elections. Our approach to election security is grounded in the principles of neutrality, professionalism, and respect for human rights. We are committed to deploying sufficient personnel and resources to ensure effective crowd management, prevent electoral violence, and address any emerging security issues. In this election, the police will be deploying 35,000 personnel, and this will be complemented by over 8,000 members of the armed forces and other security agencies. In preparation for the election, the Nigerian Police Force, in collaboration with these other security agencies, has undertaken several measures, including conducting a thorough threat analysis of vulnerable points in Edo State to deploy resources effectively, engaging in interagency consultation and collaboration at both national and state levels, performing operational visits by the police election planning, monitoring, and evaluation team to Edo State for all the ground assessment and preparation. In the lead-up to this election, the Nigerian Police Force, with other security agencies, will engage continuously with political parties and relevant stakeholders and conduct public enlightenment campaigns for eligible voters and interest groups across the state. Provide robust security for INEC officials, ensure the safe escort of electoral materials from storage facilities to registration area centers and polling units. Secure the state's entry and exit points with military support and ensure strict enforcement of the restriction order on movement on the election day. The Nigerian Police, in addition, will deploy adequate operational assets as necessary for this election. I once again assure you of our unwavering neutrality and the neutrality of all participating security agencies. Our commitment is to a free and fair election, ensuring a level playing field for all candidates. Our personnel have been trained to carry out their duties with professionalism and impartiality. Our loyalty lies with the Constitution and the people of Nigeria. To the political parties and the candidates, I urge you to adhere strictly to the rules and respect the electoral process. Let us collectively foster an environment that upholds democratic values and honors the will of our people. I assure the residents of Edo State that we are fully prepared to safeguard your safety and security throughout this electoral process. Your right to vote is sacred, and we will protect it. I encourage you to come out in large numbers to exercise your right, confident that our extensive deployment is intended to ensure your safety and integrity of the election. I take this opportunity to warn all potential troublemakers contemplating destructive actions to abandon such intentions. The security forces will not tolerate any form of political thuggery, violence, or hooliganism. Any attempt to undermine the electoral process will be met with swift and decisive action. Moreover, I want to emphasize that the management of election security solely the responsibility of the Nigerian Police Force and other national security agencies within the ISIS. This responsibility does not extend to quasi-security entities or non-state actors. I hereby direct all local security apparatus within Edo State to refrain from interfering with election security functions. Any individual or group engaging in unauthorized security activities will face immediate arrest and prosecution. In this regard, in this regard, the activities of Edo State Security Corps, which has been suspended, remains suspended until further notice. Movement of persons and vehicles will be restricted from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the day of election. All orderlies and escorts to VIPs will be withdrawn on the eve of the election, with alternative security arrangements provided across the state. At this junction, I would like to highlight some of the actions that will constitute offense on the election day. The Electoral Act 2022 as amended in section 124 makes it an offense for any person who knowingly votes or attempt to vote in the constituency where his or her name is not in the register of voters. Any person who knowingly bring into a polling unit during an election a voter's card issued to another person commits an offense. Section 125 also makes it an offense for any person to act or incite others to act in a disorderly manner. Section 126 prohibits any person at the polling unit or within a distance of 300 meters to canvass for votes, solicit for votes, persuade any voter not to vote for any particular candidate, shout slogans concerning the election, persuade any voter not to vote, be in possession of offensive weapons. And I want to repeat this. It is an offense under the electoral law for any person to be in possession of any offensive weapon on the day of election. This should be noted by all and sundry. I urge political leaders to please warn their supporters, because any person seen with offensive weapon on that day of election will be treated as criminals and not as voters. No person shall intimidate any voter or wear symbols of any party on the day of election, snatch or destroy any electoral materials, use any vehicle bearing color or symbol of any political party, loiter without lawful excuse after voting or after being refused to vote, bear siren. Section 1262 also makes it an offense for any person to convene or attend meeting during the hours of polls, or make official announcement, or wear any badge. I want stakeholders to take note of these acts that constitute these electoral offenses and use it to warn their supporters to adhere strictly to the rules of this election. In closing, I thank you for your attention and cooperation. Together, let us ensure that the Edo State Governorship Election 2024 becomes a shining example of excellence in our electoral processes. Thank you.
Sazuwa Connedo, bringing you the news in a more digital way.